More than 1,200 operators never climbed off these 13 tractors alive. Every machine on this list was marketed as progress. Every one concealed a fatal flaw the manufacturer knew about. Ford, Deere, International Harvester, Massey Ferguson. The names your grandfather trusted. The names that got him killed. Number 7 will change how you look at snap coupler hitches forever. Here are the 13 vintage tractors that killed their operators. Number 13. The Minneapolis Moline ZTU. That magneto ignition system sat exposed on the left side of the engine block, 6 inches from a fuel line junction that sweated raw gasoline under heat expansion. The ZTU ran hot by design. Minneapolis Moline tuned the engine for high compression distillate fuel, which required sustained operating temperatures that warped copper fittings over time. A weeping fuel line near a live magneto is not a hazard. It is a countdown. 13 fires were documented in Minnesota and the Dakotas between 1939 and 1947. 3 were fatal. Minneapolis Moline Service Bulletin addressed the fitting specification in 1948. They mailed it to dealers only. Farmers running ZTUs never knew the clock was ticking under their left boot. But the ZTU looks safe compared to what is coming at number 12. Number 12, the Farmall M International Harvester mounted the fuel tank on the left side, 7 inches from a cast iron exhaust manifold that reached 900 degrees under load. Fuel cap vents sat directly in the heat plume. One Nebraska farmer filled his tank on a July afternoon in 1949. The vapor ignited before he could step away. He suffered third-degree burns across 60% of his body. He survived. His hired hand, standing closer, did not. International Harvester's engineering department documented the proximity hazard in 1943. They issued a dealer bulletin in 1949, 6 years later. Quiet distribution, no customer notification. Farmers kept burning. The next tractor broke bones instead of burning skin. Number 11. The John Deere Model A. Starting the Model A required inserting a steel crank into the flywheel housing and spinning the engine by hand. Compression stroke timing determined whether you started a tractor or visited an orthopedic surgeon. Mistimed ignition would kick the crank backward with enough force to shatter a forearm in 3 places. Hospital records from Iowa alone show 89 crank-related fractures between 1934 and 1952. Deere's own engineers proposed a slip-clutch safety mechanism in 1938. Cost analysis killed it. 11 cents per unit multiplied by projected production volume exceeded acceptable expense thresholds. Management shelved the proposal. 3 more decades of broken wrists, dislocated shoulders, and shattered elbows followed. Number 10. The Allis-Chalmers WD-45. Marketing called the snap coupler hitch. Revolutionary. Back up, engage, drive away. No climbing off the seat, no wrestling with drawbar pins, no wasted time. Farmers loved the convenience. The release mechanism had a tendency to fail under load. A 3-bottom plow weighs 1,400 pounds. When the snap coupler's spring-loaded pals let go without warning, that implement drops free. One Michigan operator in 1957 stepped behind his WD-45 to check the coupler engagement. The pals released. The plow tongue swung down and pinned him against the toolbar, crushing injuries to the pelvis and lower spine. Allis-Chalmers redesigned the PAL system in 1959 after 23 documented crushing incidents. What Massey Ferguson did next made the snap coupler look almost forgivable. Number 9. The Massey Ferguson 35. At 3,300 pounds, the MF35 costs less than any comparable utility tractor on the market. Small farmers finally had access to hydraulics and 3-point hitches. The price they paid was not just financial. That lightweight frame meant a dangerously high center of gravity relative to wheelbase length. A 15-degree grade that a Fordson Major climbed without complaint could flip an MF-35 backward in under 2 seconds. The rear axle becomes a pivot point. The front wheels lift. Physics takes over. Between 1958 and 1966, coroner reports from 6 states documented 156 rear overturn fatalities involving the MF-35. Massey Ferguson did not offer a roll bar, not even as a dealer-installed option, until 1967. The next 4 tractors killed in ways that made backward flips look almost merciful. Number 8. Oliver 77. The hydraulic system on this tractor operated at 2,200 pounds per square inch. That is enough pressure to inject fluid through human skin and directly into the bloodstream. Injection injuries do not bleed much at first. The entry wound looks like a pinprick, but beneath the skin, the fluid spreads through tissue, causing massive internal damage that can lead to amputation within hours if untreated. Oliver's operator manual mentioned nothing about this risk. Mechanics in the 1950s did not know to seek immediate surgery. By the time the hand started swelling, the damage was done. At least 40 documented cases occurred across the Midwest. Number 7. Minneapolis Moline U. Marketing called that enclosed cab a revolution in operator comfort. It promised protection from weather, reduced fatigue, and longer working hours. What they did not mention was the single exit door. When fuel lines ruptured near the engine block, fire spread faster than any farmer could react. The door hinges were mounted backward, opening inward against the cab frame. In panic, operators pushed instead of pulled. The cab became a cremation chamber in under 90 seconds. 3 separate incidents in Minnesota between 1951 and 1958 ended identically. Minneapolis Moline redesigned the hinges in 1959, but never issued a recall. Halfway through this list, the designs only get worse. Number 6. Case vac. The belt pulley on this tractor sat in a position that defied common sense. Routine adjustments required operators to reach across spinning components. Case's own engineers flagged the layout in internal memos that surfaced during 1978 wrongful death litigation. The exact phrase used was inviting amputation. 3 separate engineers issued 3 separate warnings, all ignored by production management. Between 1942 and 1955, the VAC's belt pulley configuration contributed to 23 confirmed hand and arm amputations. Case saved an estimated $8 per unit by keeping the original design. Number 5. Cockshut 30. The brake system used separate pedals for each rear wheel. In the field, this made sense. You could lock one wheel to pivot sharply at row ends. On roads, it killed people. When drivers instinctively pressed both feet during emergency braking, uneven pad wear caused one wheel to lock before the other. The tractor spun. At transport speeds of 15 miles per hour, a spin meant rollover. Cockshut never installed an interlock to link the pedals for road travel. Rural Ontario recorded 7 fatal spins between 1948 and 1956. All drivers were experienced farmers. Number 4. John Deere Model B. The exposed flywheel on this tractor served double duty. It powered belt-driven equipment, and because of its position, became the natural handhold for mounting. Farmers grabbed it thousands of times without incident, until the engine kicked. The flywheel could spin unexpectedly during starting, and human hands do not release fast enough. Degloving injuries stripped skin and tissue from fingers and palms in a single rotation. Deere's official response was a warning decal, a small adhesive label instead of a $4 metal guard. The decals faded. The injuries continued well into the 1970s. Number 3. The Ferguson TU-20. Harry Ferguson bet his entire fortune on 3-point hitch hydraulics. The draft control system could sense implement drag and adjust depth automatically. It was revolutionary for 1948. The mechanism responded in milliseconds, raising a plow from full depth to transport height in under 2 seconds. Ferguson himself nearly died demonstrating this speed to investors, when the rear rose faster than the front could compensate. The physics worked against operators constantly. Heavy implements lifting fast shifted the center of gravity behind the rear axle instantaneously. 14 farmers in Ohio watched their TO-20 tractors flip backward before they could release the lever. Ferguson's widow received the lawsuit paperwork the same week she buried him. But the next one targeted the most vulnerable operators deliberately. Number 2. International Harvester's Farmall CUB. Marketing called it the beginner's tractor. Brochures showed teenage boys and farm wives smiling from the seat. International Harvester salesmen told families the Cub was perfect for learning. Lightweight, low horsepower, impossible to get into trouble. Internal engineering memos from 1949 told a different story. The Cub's center of gravity sat higher relative to its wheelbase than any other Farmall model. International Harvester's own testing showed rollover occurred at just 23 degrees of slope. The company sold 200,000 Cubs anyway. 18 teenagers died on Cubs between 1950 and 1958, most during their first season operating equipment. International Harvester never updated the marketing materials. We're at number 1 now, and this one proves corporate negligence isn't accidental. Number 1. The Ford 8N. The most beloved tractor in American history killed more operators than any machine before or since. Ford sold 524,000 units between 1947 and 1952. Engineers flagged the rear axle housing weakness before production started. Internal documents from 1946 show Ford knew the casting thickness could not handle side-loading stress from implements. They shipped them anyway because fixing the mold cost $340,000. The housings cracked during routine operation, sending wheels spinning free while operators fought steering that no longer responded. Tractors rolled into ditches, through fences, over embankments. Ford received 847 incident reports by 1952. The engineering fix cost $4.75 per tractor. The Ford 8N still sells at auctions every weekend across America. If you have vintage iron in your barn, know what you are sitting on. Here is our list of safety retrofits that actually work.